We are back in, people. We are back in on a Friday TGIF edition of the show. The show on the streets, number one forum for your Crimson Tide football news. I'll be yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And this is In My Own Words. Appreciating everybody tuning in on today. And before we jump into the final topic, got to remind you of TDAwear.com. That is TDAwear.com. Now, if you are a fan of the Crimson Tide, you eat it, you sleep it, you breathe it, you love it, you go to church in it, don't care what you do. You are a fan of Alabama football, diehard fan, and you are in support of the coaching staff, the program, the players. You got to go to TDAwear.com and purchase you the We Want Football shirts and the Let Them Play shirts. We Want Football shirts and the Let Them Play shirts. Now, there's other apparel you can get, and we're not just pigeonholing you to these two shirts. Other apparel on the site you can get, but you love the Crimson Tide, you're supporting the coaching staff, you are supporting the players, you are all about that Bama. Gotta go to TDAwear.com. Do it right now. TDAwear.com. Purchase you the We Want Football shirts or the Let Them Play shirts, courtesy of us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But get into now. Final topic of the conversation here. Other positions to watch for, other aspects to watch for in the scrimmage this weekend. Bryce Young's the big topic. Quarterback play is the big topic. That's why we started off with it. I mean, there are other important positions, but people are so locked in on what's going to happen at quarterback. But right now, we look into other aspects that you need to keep your eye on here inside Bryant-Denny Stadium coming up on Saturday. So first and foremost, the first aspect, continuity on the offensive line is key. Continuity on the offensive line. We know what we're getting with Alex Leatherwood, Deontay Brown, Evan Neal, Landon Dickerson. All four of those guys have played a lot of football together. We know what we're getting from those four. You can even slide Chris Owens in there as the fifth guy that's got a lot of experience on this line. But the theme from Coach Saban this week, especially if you watched his presser, has been we got to get better, we got to do better, we got to play better, we got to have guys on the field that will play winning football consistently every snap, every rep, every practice, every game. And he has been all about playing more guys, getting more guys reps, getting more guys opportunities, getting more guys chances on the field in terms of creating that depth, because with this virus, with the coronavirus pandemic in here, there may be some moments where a couple of guys get sick, 1 to 2 players get sick, they'll have to miss some time, and you have to go to your bench and trust the guys on that bench to get up, get out there in the game, and play winning football. You got to go to your guys that you've given experience to, that you've given reps to, that you've given opportunities to, and see, can these guys go out here and prove to us they can play winning football? So building up the depth here with getting these guys reps on the offensive line, having guys be more versatile, play different positions, big deal here. So this is an opportunity for players like Pierce Quick, for players like Amari Kite, for players like Emil Ekiyor Jr., for freshmen like Damian George and Javion Cohan, for guys like Tommy Brown. These are opportunities for those guys, even Darian Dalcourt, to where, can you get out there on the field and in building that depth, showing Coach Saban, showing Kyle Follett, the offensive line coach, and the teammates around you that you can get out there and play winning football should the team need you out there, in terms of if a player or two gets sick, hopefully nobody gets hurt, but you got to have that depth, you got to have that continuity on the offensive line, aside from the main key cogs here in Alex Leatherwood, Landon Dickerson, Evan Neal, and Deontay Brown. So that's the first aspect. Second aspect to look at in this scrimmage, the tight end position. Will a marquee tight end, will a big play tight end emerge, rise from this scrimmage? You as Alabama fans, you guys out there, everybody that touches the football, you want them to be a threat. As balanced as you want this team in terms of running the football and in the passing game, everybody that touches this pigskin, that touches this football, you want them to be a threat in 3 different categories. You want them to be a threat in terms of scoring the ball, you want them to be a threat in terms of moving the chains, picking up first downs, or you want them to be a threat by running defensive players over and putting that fear in a defender's mind of who in the heck is that guy and when is he gonna get the ball again, because I'm 2-stepping out the way. I ain't trying to get ran over no more. So you want the players that have the ball in their hands to be a threat. And in terms of the tight end position, we have seen what O.J. Howard was able to do. We saw what Irv Smith Jr. put together. So who is that next guy from the scrimmage? Could it be Miller Forrestall? Could it be Jaleel Billingsley? Could it be Cameron Latu, who has had a great camp, who's had a great fall practice, great camp? Could it be Carl Tucker, who has come in here from North Carolina and has played well himself? Coach Saban has been nothing but showering praises upon one Carl Tucker. So will a marquee tight end, will an elite tight end rise here in Saturday's scrimmage? That is the second aspect right there. When you look at the third aspect, it goes to the defensive line. And this is a young group. You've got some veterans here on this D-line. There's LeBron Ray, who's back. There's Fidarian Mathis, who's back. You got DJ Dale back for his sophomore year. But for the young players out there, can the young guys on this defensive line, can they stuff the run? Can they play assignment football? Can they be disciplined? Can they hit their gaps, fill their gaps? Can they also collapse, put pressure on the pocket, get in the face of the quarterback, and affect the passing game? And that's the thing that Fidarian Mathis talked about this week, is having this defensive line affect the quarterback. You got Freddie Roach back in here as the defensive line coach. He's been infusing passion. He's been infusing energy. He's been injecting this no-nonsense mentality. Fire off the ball, do your job, and being that giant wall of making opposing offenses feel hopeless out there on the field. So you got young guys here on this defensive line with Christian Barmore back, as he's looked to be more so of a leader this year, with Byron Young, with Justin Aboigbe, with with Ishmael Sopsher, with Big Tim Smith, with Jamarian Latham, Jamil Burrows. You got a lot of young guys here on this defensive front rotation. So can you get those young guys to play quality ball, winning football? And then last but not least here, an aspect to look at the secondary, primarily in that nickel role and that star role at corner. It comes down to these 2 freshmen, Malachi Moore or Brian Branch, the 2 4-stars. I know early in camp, people were talking about Jalen Armour-Davis. People were talking about Ronald Williams Jr. You had guys that looked at maybe Alabama moves Patrick Surtain II to nickel. Not the case. Battle comes down Malachi Moore, Brian Branch. The highlight safety versus the thumper, black version of Vinny Sunseri. Which one of these 2 takes this job home, wins this job outright as the starter in the nickel package at that star role slot corner? All of those right there, huge aspects for the Crimson Tide in this second scrimmage this weekend. But you want the best news, notes, information, and coverage here, Tide Nation. You can do this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. Easy to do here. You download this from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you've got the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we have you covered here. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We have you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Monday continuing the conversation that is Tide football. You can purchase individual copies, fans, of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. Link will be found in the description. And also, you can still get that online issue, that online subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine by going to touchdownalabama.com. Click join. Still $5.95 a month, but this goes until September 15th. $5.95 a month. goes until September 15th, where you can get the latest news on Alabama, the print magazine, and also the exceptional recruiting news from our own Justin Smith. That link will be found in the description as well. But as always, husbands, love your wives. Wives, appreciate, value those husbands. Children, it is the weekend. Do those things legitimately now to not be bored. Be sure to get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself, protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and this has been In My Own Words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.